Hello everybody, this is Tyler here once again from the Character Workshop. We're 10 episodes in and I'm already talking about somebody twice. That's right, I am doing another episode relating to Dalek44, but this isn't going to be a review like last video. I already got that out of the way. This is going to be a list video, and of course you guys see the title already and the intro, but I am doing the top 5 best Sec and Co Unikitty episodes. Why Unikitty? Well, in case you guys weren't aware, today is July 6th. The 6th of July, whatever you want to call it. But exactly 5 years ago, on this day, July 6, 2014, Unikitty's first episode of Sec and Co premiered. Why do I consider this to be a special occasion? It's been 5 years since Unikitty's been on Sec and Co. I mean, where can you go wrong? Not only that, Unikitty's episode, introduction episode of Sec and Co, is Dalek44's second most viewed video of all time. Want some proof? Well, I'll give you some proof. Alright, here I am. Sorry if the quality is a little bit low with this, but yeah, I'm on Dalek44's YouTube channel. This is his most popular video section. See right here, Sec and Co Unikitty, second most popular video of his of all time, and the most popular episode of Sec and Co of all time. Almost at 100,000 views. That's quite a lot. None of my videos have reached that yet. His most viewed video over here is Thomas and Rosie's Christmas shorts, which I have yet to see, but I might give it a watch at some point. Not only that, ever since Unikitty's introduction to Sec and Co, she's pretty much been kind of a main part of the show. Like, a lot of the videos from, like, then till now pretty much have her as, like, the main character or the main focus, so yeah, she's kind of a pretty big deal on Sec and Co, and that, I decided, there's enough episodes with her as the main character. I decided to compile a top 5 list for the 5-year anniversary of her being on the show. So without further ado, the top 5 best Sec and Co Unikitty episodes, starting off with number 5. So number 5, I would have to give it to Unikitty's Christmas story. Now, episode lengths do kind of vary on this list, so this one was like less than 10 minutes long, so I'm not gonna have too much to talk about with this entry, but pretty much in this episode, Sec tells Unikitty a Christmas story, being a Mr. Men Christmas story, which I believe was Mr. Christmas, correct me if I'm wrong. So it was kind of interesting. Like I said, there wasn't really much to it. It was just nice to watch, and hearing Sec narrate the story, and even I even got a little bit of a crack on the one line where apparently, according to the Mr. Christmas book, the reason why Rudolph's nose is red is because he has a cold, and Sec was like, so that's why Rudolph's nose is red. I found that to be kind of like the funniest line from that episode. So yeah, nothing much else to say. Pretty enjoyable episode. Yeah, so that's number 5 on this list. Number 4, I will have to give it to Unikitty and Mouse, the most recent episode on this list. In this episode, Sec and the rest of the characters are apparently exterminators, going into people's houses, getting rid of pests, which kind of fits Sec very well, because that's kind of what Daleks do. But anyways, so they go into a random person's house to get rid of a mouse. Unikitty sees this mouse, and instead of wanting to eat the mouse, she wants the mouse to be her friend. And of course, after, befriending the mouse, Sec and the rest of the company try to find a way to get rid of the mouse without, like, hurting it, and, pretty much being Unikitty's best friend and whatnot. So they just pretend, they tell the guy that owns the house that, oh, Unikitty, got rid of the mouse for you, no need to worry. So they left, but unfortunately Sladine in an earlier scene made a mess in the house, which made the guy very upset, and did cause him to do something in a later episode. I'm not going to give away which episode it was, but yeah. So afterwards, they bring the mouse to the flats, pretty much where the main characters live, And yeah, ever since then, Unikitty and Emily, Emily was the name of the mouse, by the way, I forgot to mention that earlier. But they have remained good friends ever since then. Emily has made a couple appearances in later videos. So, yeah, pretty nice episode, nice introduction to Emily. Yeah, number 4 was Unikitty and Mouse. So, number 3, I will give it to Unikitty's debut episode, of course titled Unikitty. I mean, how can you really, like, you know, not see this as, like, you know, a good episode? I mean, come on. Most viewed Sec and Co episode of all time, and it kind of shows. So, pretty much, main plot, Sec and Cyber are going around Celebwood. They see Unikitty on the road, and she's feeling upset. This was like after Cloud Cuckoo Land got destroyed from the Lego movie, so it kind of, I guess takes place in the same realm as the Lego movie, according to this episode. So they decided to take her in. Sec was, you know, not very comfortable at first having Unikitty around, especially this one scene. I get a crack out of this each time. I didn't mention this to you in my review of Dalek44, but Sec has an interest in Sonia from Sonic Underground. And he had naked pictures of her on his computer. Then he goes onto his computer and realizes that all of her naked parts were pretty much covered. And that was done to Unikitty. So, yeah, so Sec, after a while, kind of says to Cyber and Slitheen, like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to keep Unikitty around here. Unikitty overhears this, gets really upset, leaves, goes back out onto the streets. As soon as Cyber realizes this, he tells Sec about it, and then they both go after to try to find Unikitty. And then they find Unikitty. Unikitty thinks that Sec doesn't want her around. Sec then mentions, like, how he was an orphan as well before Cyber came in and got him a home. So that pretty much, and then Sec, you know, apologized for pretty much accidentally making it sound like he said he doesn't want Unikitty around. So afterwards, Unikitty then stays in the flats and is now beneficial part of Sec and Co. Whew, quite a lot to talk about, but it was like a 20-minute episode, so there was a lot to talk about. But yeah, nothing else I can much say about this. However, I do want to mention one thing about Unikitty, and I guess like a few early episodes of hers on Sec and Co. This is kind of regards to Boris Fangirl, Unikitty's voice actress. Her microphone, her audio quality or whatever, doesn't really sound that well. Like, you know, you can barely like hear what Unikitty is saying most of the time. So, I mean, thankfully that's fixed in like later episodes. I'll give you guys some examples like right here.
What? You edited them?
He wasn't wearing any clothes.
Well, we've got the flat to ourselves tonight.
Yep, just the two of us. Two friends spending the night together.
Yeah, quite the difference. Although, hey, it's an improvement. At least I can hear Unikitty more often than I did before. But it doesn't change the fact that, you know, it doesn't make the Unikitty episode, like, bad or anything. It just, it's still a good episode regardless of the audio quality back then. But yeah, Unikitty, the debut episode of the pink unicorn cat of the same name, number 3 on this list. Now, number 2 is an episode that's actually a little bit shorter than the Christmas Story episode. This one was like around 8 minutes long, so number 2 is Hide and Seek. This was another more recent video of his. This one was uploaded, I believe, yeah, last year. So, this episode had a simple plot, but I just really like it. Unikitty's bored one day, decides to play with Sec. So they decide to play a game of hide and seek. Unikitty goes and hides. Sec takes like 10 minutes to try and find her. So then later on, Lucy, this child who's like the child of one of Sec's older friends, I forgot his name, but she comes over, decides to help out Sec, try to find Unikitty. They look in his bedroom. They see that they eventually find out that she's under the blankets because of her purring, like her loud purring. So as soon as they find her, they continue playing on. This time Unikitty counts, and then Sec and Lucy both hide. So yeah, a simple episode, just like the Christmas story. But I had a little bit more to talk about with this one because it was slightly more interesting, and that's why I put it on number 2 on this list. I really like this episode. Not much else to say. And now moving on to number 1. But before I go on to number 1, I will give a few honorable mentions. First one being Unikitty's Christmas surprise. This one pretty much had Sec and Co making a surprise Christmas party for Unikitty because she was feeling a little bit homesick. This one was nice. Unfortunately, it wasn't nice enough to be put on this list, but I liked it regardless. Next one would have to be the most recent Sec and Co episode, would be the Who Kidnapped Unikitty. I really liked this one as well. This was almost close to being on the list, but the other 5 videos I put on here, I just, couldn't replace any of them. And I also liked Poorly Unikitty, the one where she gets sick and, the rest of the characters, like, told her stories to make her feel better. But yeah, those would be 3 honorable mentions that I would put on here. But now, without further ado, my personal favorite episode of Sec and Co to have Unikitty in it. Now, number 1 may shock some of you people, but I will have to give number 1 to A Night In. Oh, but Tyler, this episode was just about Unikitty and Sec, just spending the night alone. What's so special about this one? Well, a few reasons why I think this episode is pretty special. First of all, I might as well give you the plots, as I always do with the previous episodes I talked about. So, Cyber, Slitheen, and the Chick. The Chick is another recurring character on Sec and Co. I never really mentioned him in my review, but they all went out places. Cyber went out to go dancing with his girlfriend, Jessica. Slitheen, I forgot where he went, but it was a crazy antic. You never know with Slitheen. So they all go out. Sec and Unikitty pretty much have the flats all to themselves. What's funny, you'd think with like an episode where like 2 characters spending the night together would just go crazy out of nowhere. But yeah, this episode was sort of like an unintentional twist. Like, oh, you're expecting crazy things to happen, but spoiler alert, nothing out of the ordinary happens in this episode. So pretty much Sec and Unikitty just watch TV together. They had chicken wings for dinner. Like I said, nothing crazy happens. You also get to hear them chat a little bit. They pretty much talked about like famous people they met. Sec pretty much talking about why he hasn't done anything to keep Dot Warner out of his face. But yeah, it was interesting to listen to and watch pretty much. So then afterwards they fell asleep on the couch, or at least there's not really a couch, but like let's just pretend it is a couch. I mean, in my own videos I pretend there's like objects around here with my characters, like, oh, I can say a character is holding a knife or something, or which they're not really holding a knife, but like let's just pretend they are. So yeah, they soon find out that they slept on, the living room, so they go up to the bedroom. They pretty much like they ask each other, oh, do you miss like being where you used to be and all that stuff. And this is like, this right here, in my opinion, is where some of Sec and Co's sweetest moments came from. So I might as well just show you some clips to pretty much explain what I mean.
You ever miss your old home?
I'm afraid I can't answer that question, Kitty. The only home I can remember before this flat is the orphanage Cyber brought me to. Before that, I used to live on the streets, wheeling and dealing for money and food. I don't even know where I came from or who my parents are. The only real family I know is my American cousin Dalek44. You're lucky to know where you come from.
Yeah. Every day I miss Cloud Cuckoo Land, where there's no rules, no governments, no stop signs, no bedtimes, no frowny faces, no poo-poos, no boo-boos, no poo-poos. It turned out okay. And I was like, I don't know.
It's okay, we'll cut it out after filming.
Anyway, I did miss my own home. But I love living here with you and the others. You're like a daddy to me.
Aw, that's nice. Even though I don't know my real family, my friends are like my family to me. Maybe not Slovene so much. No, he's more like some sort of scabby dog nobody really likes. But I've known the two since I was a child, and they're the closest thing to a family to me. Cyber took me off the streets and gave me a roof over my head, and Slovene, well, he just happened to end up with us. Cyber and I are like brothers, always looking out for each other, always there for each other at the worst of times, which is quite a lot actually. Slovene is with us because we can't leave him out there alone. He wouldn't last a day on his own since he's hopeless. And you, Kitty, you're more than just a unicorn cat. You're like a daughter to me.
Oh, you're so sweet.
But yeah, after sleeping, next morning they wake up. Cyber, Slitheen, and the chick all return. Sec decides to cook him breakfast. And then while he's cooking breakfast, Unikitty comes up and says, "Oh, do you think we can ever spend more time just the two of us or whatever?" Which wasn't really too special, but it was nice. It was sweet and all. So yeah, a night in, my favorite Sec and Co episode to have Unikitty in there. I've watched this one like multiple times, like more times than like literally any other episode of Sec and Co I've seen so far. So yeah, a night in, my favorite episode. Not much else to say. I really enjoy it. And yeah, like I said, I love how it's like kind of like a twist on like the typical characters spending the night together kind of scenario. Like a lot of shows often have crazy stuff happen to characters when they spend the night together. I mean, look at the Jimmy Neutron episode where Carl and Sheen spend the night with Jimmy. Jimmy makes a little machine to have a sleepover in. It goes crazy. The pizza becomes a monster, tries to attack him. Yeah, a night in from Sec and Co is not like that. Nothing crazy happens. What's even funnier is that the description says, "Oh, is Sec and Unikitty spending the night together gonna go crazy or whatever?" But it didn't. That's just kind of funny. That's kind of what I like about it. It's nice seeing like stuff kind of not happen every now and then. So yeah, I like that episode for that and many other reasons. Like I already mentioned, a lot of sweet moments. But yeah, whew, boy, did I have a lot to say there. That is the top 5 list, my top 5 list for the best Sec and Co Unikitty episodes. So I don't have much else to say. So in the near future, you guys are probably going to be asking if I'm going to be doing any other Dalek44 related videos. Besides the Q&A video I have planned with him in the near future, at the moment, I don't have any other videos besides the Q&A related to Dalek44 anytime soon. But yeah, stay tuned. Eventually, I don't know when it's going to happen, but yeah, stay tuned for that Q&A episode of Dalek44 that I'll be doing. But that is going to wrap it up for this episode of It Came From England. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, feel free to give it a like. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content, more episodes of It Came From England and mediocre plush content in general. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. That is about it. This is Tyler from the Character Workshop, signing out. Next episode, while in this episode I talked about something as innocent as this, next episode, I'm going to be talking about something naughty. And I'm not 100% looking forward to it.